Hi everyone, this is Kelly from The Truth in Story, and I am so excited to be showing this to you today. Now, I did walk through this in the unboxing, in a live unboxing, but I had to do a proper one because this is all just so gorgeous that this deserves a close-up look at these cards. I had heard about this deck before. Now there's a lot of buzz about this right now, but I actually heard about it quite a while ago when Bart, who is on YouTube as and on Instagram as Where Alders Whisper, and he had shown it to me because it's a Polish deck, and he was so surprised to see it. You know, it was because he's from Poland, and so he was so excited to see it. He showed it to me, I think, when it was in pre-order stage. Now, I don't normally pre-order things. I usually wait till they actually come out. I don't know why. It's just not something that I do. And so then when it actually started coming out and I saw people posting, I was like, oh, I should have grabbed that. And I even said to him, I'm like, somehow it came up. He was sending a deck for Katie, the Serpent's Oracle, or the Burning Serpent Oracle. Oh, the road noise today is crazy. Let's pause for a moment while the recycling gets pulled up. Oh dear. This has been all day today of road noise. Anyways, so I knew that deck was coming. He's like, I'm going to put your decks in the mail. And I'm like, decks? What are you talking about? I knew about Katie's, and he said, I got you that Middia Lenormand. I'm like, what? What Middia? And then I realized he'd actually picked me up a deck. So I was anxiously expecting and awaiting, and he was just as anxiously following tracking. So we were both following tracking, and he was keeping me up to date where everything was. And he said it came in this morning, and so I was so excited. But of course, when I picked up the package, I could tell that it was more than 2 decks because, you know, Burning Serpent is an Oracle deck. It's a Lenormand deck, and he had got it because you can get it cheaper in Poland, and you can get just the deck instead of the deck in the book set. And so I'm like, that's 2 little decks. Like, this is more than that. And he ended up having gotten me the set, which I was so excited about. And I think my hands were shaking when I was so anticipating this particular deck, and it has not failed to awe and gain my great love and admiration. So the deck that I'm talking about is the Middia Lenormand, Middia, and the artist is Clara Spolinski, and I'm sure I'm being horrible in saying that. You can see she has www.middia.net /blog, or she has an Etsy shop which you can search for under Middia as well. And so it comes in, now this is a first edition 2016, and this is the 12th deck. I don't know how many decks were published at first, but yeah, so it's numbered, and you also get a card, which I didn't bring over here, that kind of lists what number your deck is and that kind of thing. It's very, very nice. She has cards, which Bart sent me a few of as well, with some of the images that are just stunning. And so you get this tuck box. You know, it's a nice tuck box. It survived coming from Poland. And it says the Middia Lenormand deck consists of 39 cards, including 2 ladies and 2 men, and 1 extra squirrel card, as we see here. Each card is a unique drawing made especially for this deck. And so you get this lovely tuck box here, and you get your guidebook. Now, obviously, the first part of it is in Polish because it's from Poland, but she actually is fantastic and adds in English meanings. So you have those there. I mean, usually if you're, you already know Lenormand, you don't much need a guidebook anyways. And so it's not necessary, but if you just are getting it because of the artwork, she does have the meanings in English, so that's fantastic. She does give you an example of how you would lay it out, and doing like a 3 card of the day in the back. So yeah, so nice little guidebook there. I was really happy with that. I'm going to put that back in here because, you know, for Lenormand, I don't use the guidebook. But there are two extra woman and an extra man card, which I'll show you with the original. But can you see this artwork? Oh, so stunning. And then there's a Happy Squirrel card, which you can leave in. She gives you an example of a meaning in the deck, or you can kind of make your own meaning up with the Happy Squirrel card. I won't be putting that in the actual deck as I'm using it. I'm a little bit of a traditionalist that way, but it is cute to have. I do love having the choice of men and women. Sometimes you just want to change them up. Sometimes you have same-sex readings. It's just a nice option to have there, which I'll show you with the other options when we get to them. It came with this wonderful, now you can get, I think, just the deck and the pouch here, which is so fantastic. It's like an envelope. And I love this. I mean, I absolutely love this way of keeping I need to make myself a bunch of these for my Lenormand decks, because I really don't have nice ways to keep. I have a couple nice zipper ones that came with them that Miss Maureen gave me, but for the most part, you know, Lenormand's comes in pretty flimsy boxes. So I love this. It's so compact. I could definitely throw this in my purse and feel confident about it. So I love that, and it's just such a gorgeous print work here. And it has on here Middia Lenormand. Now I saw she also had tarot bags and a tarot spread cloth that in purple with the same kind of pattern but in purple. I just noticed that today. So take a look at her Etsy shop. But yeah, so that came with it. I know you can get just these two together, you know, and the pouch, or then you can also get this separately, or I think is a big set. And so this is a reading cloth, and you're probably not going to be able to see all of it in my camera, but it's simply stunning. And the thing that I love about this, so this is a Lenormand Grand Tableau spread, and it has the house names in English. You can get it in Polish or in English. So underneath, you know, so here's, you know, you would have the man in the house of the birds and the woman in the house of the child. This is fantastic when you are learn something. It's just nice to have, because then you don't have to constantly be thinking what house is it in. I really like Grand Tableau house spreads, but the one thing that's really nice about this is that it is, do I have a Lenormand deck right with me? No. But here's the Deste deck, because it's card size. There's no images, so the pictures of these cards are not on the spread. So this is a great, just general Grand Tableau spread cloth, because it's not, you know, it's not forcing, you know, it doesn't have just the images from the actual deck. So this is fantastic to be able to use with the Middia Lenormand, but also with any of your Lenormand decks. So I thought that was really fantastic. I was not expecting to get that. And there's instructions on how to care for it, and that thankfully Bart translated for me. But yeah, I just think it's fantastic. It's thin. It, you know, it folds up very nicely and compact, and it's just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you can use it for all of your decks. So that was an exciting bonus I was not expecting. I'm mostly just really enamored of this little envelope. So let's take a look though at the real star of this particular show, and let's zoom in on this. Let me say one other thing. The cardstock on this is divine. It truly is. It is matte. That wonderful matte, like the cover of good Llewellyn deck books, that has that wonderful matte feel to it, or like, it's just amazing. It shuffles. I've already shuffled it. It shuffles like a dream. This is probably my absolute favorite Lenormand deck, and I have over 20 Lenormand decks, but in terms of cardstock, this is my absolute favorite. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Okay, so yes, I will be using stunning a lot because this deck is so gorgeous. Okay, there we go. So, of course, this would be a quick walkthrough because, you know, Lenormand is easy to walk through. But I had to show these cards up close so you could see how gorgeous they are. So here, of course, we have the rider. So it has the number on it, it has the image, and then it has the card association in the bottom right corner, excuse me. There is not the name. I don't think it's necessary, and I'm personally glad that it's not there. The images on a Lenormand deck, in my opinion, should be very clear what they are. If they're not very clear what they are and they need a title, you know, maybe the person needs to rethink that they're making sure that the image is clear. So I don't think that it's necessary. I don't think that it loses anything by not having it. I think even as a beginner, it's pretty clear that this is a rider. Here we have Clover. So gorgeous, so gorgeous. I love that we have the clover leaf here. I love that we have the clover flower. I think it's just stunning. Stunning, stunning. Let's just say stunning over and over again. I love the ship. Very clear it's a ship, and it's like a schooner ship. That's the kind of ships I like to see with the big burly sails. I just love it. It has the M there on the thing for Middia. It's beautiful. Here we have the house. This is gonna be what it's gonna be so bad because what am I gonna say over and over again? It's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. Here's the tree. I love some of the perspective changes that she does on traditional, but it's still very clear that it's a tree. But I love that it's a birch tree. I love the zoomed in on it. I think it's gorgeous. Love the clouds. Again, very clear, dark side, light side. That's all I can ask for in a cloud card, and it's perfect. It's perfect. I love the snake card as well because there's no connotations placed on it. So some people read the snake card as very devious and wicked. Some people read the snake card like me that there can be trouble, but it's more about that winding way. It's not a straight shot. It can also be about transformation, and because this is just a gorgeous representation of a snake, you're left open to be able to make that call. It doesn't have anything that forces you into reading it one way or another. Coffin cart, it's very clear it's a coffin cart, right? Love it. It's simple, it's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. I love this deck. Here we have the bouquet. So we have a bouquet of flowers. We have some daisies here and some little whatever these are. I'm not that great about flowers, but it's clearly the flowers card or the bouquet card. Love it. Now this one is interesting. This one is the only one that it would keep it for me to be an absolutely perfect deck because I really like my scythe cards or sickle cards to have wheat sheaths in it because I do use it for harvesting. Or this definitely can work towards if somebody's going to get cut, right? The danger, Will Robinson. But this could also be a farmer who is going out to harvest. So I can still read with it perfectly fine. And it definitely has a, okay, something's about ready to be cut. Here we have a whip. Sometimes you'll see the whip and the broom. Either one work fine for me. It's still repetitive motion. It's very clear what it is. Here we have the birds. I love this. We get the close-up of this gorgeous bird. So maybe some kind of a finch off of the beak. I'm not sure. But we do have multiple birds, which I actually do like. Because a lot of times birds come up for me, not just a communication, but anxiety. All the birds chattering. So I do like multiple birds. So I like that. Look at this cute little child. Child card. It's adorable child. Look at that fox. Truthfully, that is about the most gorgeous image of a fox ever. How stunning is that? Ah, stunning. My favorite. And you know I love the fox card. And it's, again, there is no intention placed on it. It's a fox. And however you're going to read that, you can read that and it will work. It's so gorgeous. Look at the bear, the same thing. Look at the bear's face. That's on the cover of the box. So strong, so gorgeous. Oh, it's a star card. This was interesting. So we obviously have a necklace on a woman. You know, I love star cards, like up in the sky kind of star cards, but this is cute. It's a new, it's kind of a different take on it, but it's very clear what it is. And it's cute because it kind of goes with the heart card, which is on a man. I'm going to leave that out for a minute. Here we have a Bugis. I couldn't decide whether to say beautiful or gorgeous. Oh, it's a Bugis. It's a Bugis stork. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about this deck. Look at the dog. Look at that sweet face. Now that is a loyal friend and companion. Tower. It's a tower. It's gorgeous. Look at it's a park. I love the zoomed in perspective. We don't have this park. We just have a park bench and a tree. This can be out in the wilderness, which sometimes the garden is about, out in nature, or it can actually be, a community of meeting up with people in a park. So beautiful. Love this mountain. We can see ways around it. We can see paths up it. It's an obstacle, but it's not insurmountable. Love, love, love. Look at this. Again, close up on the which way are you going to go? Oh, I love this deck. I don't know what to tell you because I can't tell you anything negative because it's just stunning. Look at the mice. Now, maybe the negative would be that the mice are so dang cute. Like, you can't really see them causing so much destruction, but they are very destructive little critters. And then here we have the woman with the star, and then we have the man with the tattoo on his arm of the heart card. But it's still very clear it's the heart card, and I love it. Love it. Look at the ring. Again, it's a ring. It's a ring. No need to really think about it. It's a book with a candle. I love this book. I just love everything about this deck. It's a letter. It's a big letter right in her hand. There's no questions about what it is, and it's still gorgeously done. I just love this deck. Sorry, people. Sorry, people. So here we come to the man and the woman. Or the man and the woman. So you have the directionality. So you could take these two so that you can see them looking at each other or away. Oh, you can't even see what I've done. Let's zip back out here. So you can see you're probably wanting to choose the ones that are sort of kind of facing each other when you're going to pick, because that way you can have that directionality if you use that. Also, the other thing is that if you're using the same sex, they are somewhat facing each other, and they're kind of facing each other. So even when you're using same sex or opposite sex, you can get that directionality. So that's really fantastic. I just like these two. I like all of them, but I really like these two. So those are the two that I'm keeping in. I love having that option though, to choose that and or to put them in. Although I will say that I don't very often, worry about it too much with same-sex readings. I just always say at the beginning that if I'm reading for a woman, the man showing up is going to be your significant other, regardless of what sex. Because obviously traditional cards aren't going to even have those. So I've just gotten used to just pointing that out. This is going to be your significant other, regardless of what sex it is. And I've never had an issue with people in doing that. But it is great to have that option. So there's that. So let's zoom back in so you can see the rest in all its glory. There is these stunning lilies. Look at that. It's all black and white and kind of, got some lighter colors here than just black and white, but it's so stunning in the details. It's gorgeous. Love this sun card. There are signatures, so to speak. Not all of them. I thought it was on all of them, but I don't see it in the lily card. But they're very tiny and very unobtrusive. It's not a big name splashed across it, which I quite like. It's probably most noticeable in this one just because it's so much lightness that you can see that M show up there. Although that's really not her name, so it's more just the M for Middia. I think Ciro Marchetti does something like that too, but to me this is very unobtrusive. And here we have the moon card, which again zoomed in on the surface of the moon. I just like that change in perspective. Very clear key. Very clear fish. Look at those fish. And there's 2 fish, which I do like. Again, because it's multiple. It's abundance. It's finances. It's resources. But yeah, I like there to be more than one. Gorgeous anchor. And then the cross card, and it does have the thorns around it, which is nice because it is about burdens and difficulties, and a cross by itself doesn't necessarily need to mean that. Some people read that differently, but I think that the thorns around it definitely give that understanding of you know, difficult times. This is hard times. So there we have the cross card, and then there is this extra card, which is the Happy Squirrel. Now she puts that, let me pull this, I should have kept that out. She gives you, she talks about how the Happy Squirrel comes from the Simpsons show. I think it was a tarot card. Somebody's getting a tarot reading and then they pull out the Happy Squirrel. But she takes it as everything isn't as it seems. Which is for me the kind of the fox card, but she says, you know, figure out what that might mean for you. When I used the Happy Squirrel card in the wooden tarot, it was actually about having everything that you needed, because there's he's holding a big giant acorn, but you can kind of do with it what you please if you want to leave it in. That's something that I will be leaving in the box because I don't read with it, because I do read traditionally, but it's neat when you know, when people do that. And here's the backings up close just in case I didn't show them close enough. Look at that. And so, of course, that's the pattern that you'll see on the wrap, as well as on in lightly on the reading cloth. So so yes, this is such a stunning deck. It's such a gorgeous deck. Now, she is in Poland, but I will say that somebody, when I was in the unboxing, live unboxing, looked it up. I think Bart might have looked it up in her thing, and shipping to the U.S. was only like $7. So it really wasn't anything outrageous to get it. So they shuffle so gorgeous. They feel, I have to say, it's almost one of those decks that I much more prefer this way, because they feel so swishy and slidey and matte gloriousness. Shuffling it this way, they're just, I can't say enough about the cardstock. Of course, I think I might have got them mixed up. Nope, I didn't. I did a reading on the live thing and pulled for the Sun card. It was all about trying something new, as well as connecting with friends. But let's just take a look and see what these look like laid out, which is absolutely gorgeous. I know, because I've already laid them out. So then let's just go here. I'll find my own self. There I am. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 afterwards. Look at those. How gorgeous is that? We've got up in the corner a little bit of luck going on here. We got apparently I'm going to live happily ever after up in my tower with a very strong man. And that's going to be the key to happiness and positive change. Yeah, so apparently, look, bam, I am done. Happily ever after time for me. So I quite like you, Miss Middia Lenormand. But look at that. It just is so stunning. It's stunning. I don't even know what else to say. It's stunning, and I'm excited. I actually have a grand tableau to do today for a client, and I will be using this deck, and I'm just thrilled. So again, link will be in the description bar. I would say run, not walk, to this gorgeousness. If you're in the market for a Lenormand deck, oh, this would be certainly high on my recommendation list. So, okay, talk to you all later.